In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to log into your district Google account, set up a Google.Sites e-portfolio, whether it's for teachers or students. The steps are very similar. And finally, I'll show you the Google Sites in two phases. One is simply setting up the e-portfolio, which is really 3 or 4 clicks, and the other one is showing you some various ways that you can modify the portfolio to personalize it. So go to Google.com. In the upper right hand corner, click on Sign In. In this field, you're simply going to put in your district email address with no password. A secondary authentication box should pop up, and here you will put in your school email, your username and password for the district. Students will put in their username and password that gets them into NetSchool or into their computer. Teachers will do the same thing. You'll know that you logged in appropriately by looking in the upper right hand corner. You should see your district email address. So again, teachers and students will both, to move on to Google Sites, you'll click on the apps icon. It looks like a matrix or a Rubik's Cube almost. Click on Sites, and you'll see that I've created or shared several websites. What your students are going to do is go over to Create, and this literally takes 4 or 5 clicks, so I'm going to go through this rather quickly. Click on Create, choose a template. Under Schools and Education, you'll see just a little bit down here an e-portfolio template that's ready to go. And you can tell that the e-portfolio template has been activated by looking for it up here in the menu. Now, if you choose to use a blank template, that's fine, but it's going to be a lot more work, especially for your students that are not familiar with the way that Google Sites operates. I think once they become familiar with it, a blank template would be wonderful because they can personalize it as much as they want. But we're going to go ahead and start with an e-portfolio template. The next thing is you're going to name your site. Normally your students would put in their first name dot last name. And down here you can select a theme. Themes are just simply the color arrangements that are imported into your template or into your Google Sites. So if you don't like the green that you're going to see on the template that we've adopted, you can go to Themes and change the color schemes. So we'll simply click Create. And please remember that the e-portfolio is going to be a vehicle for your students to collect and to kind of show off their academic knowledge. But it shouldn't simply be an academic e-portfolio. The intention is for the students to take this portfolio with them to college, or at least when they apply to college, so that, colleges are looking for more than just academics. And so your students should set up, and I'll show you how to do this in a second, some tabs for church organizations if they're active in any church groups, athletics, art, any kind of hobbies outside of school, anything that they've done that the students can identify those projects as a part of who they are. I would highly suggest having the students import those into the e-portfolio as well. Number one, it's going to allow the student to become more attached to their e-portfolio, knowing that there's more than just academics here. And number two, when they are showing off their e-portfolio to the colleges that they apply for, the colleges will see beyond just simply the academic. They'll look at the moralistic nature of the student, or the holistic nature of the student, as opposed to just the GPA, which, to tell you the truth, they can just get that off of the transcripts. So you want to add a little bit more to these e-portfolios. One of the first things that we need to do is make sure that teachers, administrators can see the students' e-portfolios. So we're going to have to change one setting. So in class, you're going to have your students go to Manage Site. On the left-hand column, scroll down to Sharing and Permissions. You're going to click Change. And your students will, the default is private. You want them to go up and click on nisdtx.org. This is so that, again, teachers and administrators can keep tabs on the e-portfolios, but it keeps them out of the Google searches so that strangers can't stumble upon the students' work. So we'll click Save, and then click on your name to go back to your e-portfolio. And then I just want to show you a couple things to help modify the e-portfolio to help you personalize it. If you want to change the tabs that you see going from left to right horizontally here, click on the tab you want to change, click on Edit Page, and this is going to only edit the current page that you're on. So letters, resume, matrix will not be affected by this. So let's say that we want to change e-portfolio to click Save. And many times after the student clicks Save, the tab doesn't change even though the title of the page changes. You can either refresh or click on another tab, and you'll see that that induces the tab to change. So let's do another one. We'll click on Edit Page, Save, and once again, letters has not changed, but if we click on another tab, we'll see that it does change. So once again, this button, Edit Pages, allows you to edit the current page that you're on. On new pages, we'll come back to that later. Let's go ahead and go to More, click on that, Edit Site Layout. This is really going to change the way you navigate the student's e-portfolio. So if you would prefer a sidebar as opposed to a horizontal navigation, click on Sidebar, unclick Horizontal Navigation, and there we go. The tabs have been moved from the upper horizon to the left side, and then you can go in and actually edit this bar as you see fit. We'll click Close. Now we'll click on More again, go down to Manage Site, and this is where a lot of the behind the scenes stuff is going to happen. Click on Pages, and if you want to move some pages around, it would happen here. So we'll move Artifact 4 up to the top. Any attachments you can upload here. Your page templates, you can actually change the template from one page to the next if you wish. App scripts are a really cool capability in Google Sites, but it's most of them are fairly complex to set up, so we'll leave this alone for right now. After students delete items, they can go back and undelete them or reinstall them. If you click on General, this will allow you to go in and put in some site descriptions, categories, copy or publish the site as a template, enable statistics, and then again, to change themes and colors. Let's say you like the template, but you don't like the colors. You'll go to, let's say, Site Header, and we'll change that silly color to red. And so you'll see that this area here has been changed to red. So if students really like the layout of the site but not the colors, it would happen in this area. We'll click on Name and go back. No, I don't want to save it. And that's really it. At this point, the students would need to go in and change the names of the tabs, upload one artifact per 6 weeks per class. And make sure that you tell the teachers or tell your teachers that this is a student product. This is not the teachers telling the students what to upload. This is the students deciding for themselves what has defined them as students. Now, in most cases, this is going to be based on grades. If they made an A on something, they're going to be proud of that. However, there are some cases where a student may not do so hot on one assignment, which then compels them to study harder for the next assignment. And so the student may see that failure or that low grade as something that has propelled them to become a better student. I'm a huge advocate of reflection on the students' parts. Anytime they upload any kind of artifact to their ePortfolio, have them add a reflective piece and have them talk about what it is about this piece that makes them proud enough to upload the artifact to their ePortfolio. When you add that reflective piece, students are then thinking about their own learning, which kicks it up another notch for the student. So even if it's a bad assignment, a low grade, something to that effect, the student may be proud of that for some other reason other than the grade. So I would throw out, a little bit of caution in telling the students what to upload. Just make sure that the students are uploading things that they identify with and that they're proud of in one capacity or another.